So, this has certainly been a crazy year, and not one that any of us could have expected. Looking into the future back in 2019 and where we were headed and things that were going on in the city, a complete stop of the country was not anything we anticipated. McKinney faced that challenge, I think, better than anybody. One of the first things we did is establish the McKinney Strong program, and it was a small grant program, but it was something that we set up for our small businesses, and just to help pay the bills on the front side. And we did that immediately. One Heart McKinney was a community effort with nonprofits and residents, businesses, the city, and the chamber coming together, raising hundreds of thousands of dollars.
When the federal money came through, the $10.1 million to the city of McKinney, the city council made $5.6 million of that available for businesses, up to $25,000 for qualifying small businesses. And we partnered with some neighboring cities to make that money available, and those checks started going out the door for the business grant program in early July. And that was really a way in which you saw your federal government, your regional or county government, and your local governments responding very quickly and turning it around.
And through all of this, the city of McKinney maintained its essential services, from parks to public works. Our essential workers stayed on the job and delivered every service that our residents not just expect but need.
Early or mid-March, we started reaching out on a daily basis to all the long-term care facilities within the city of McKinney. Started assessing their needs, started providing support as needed. Our emergency operations center provided support as far as ordering PPE, planning, etc. I couldn't tell you or begin to estimate how many lives have probably been saved because of the efforts of the men and women of the McKinney Fire Department.
Public Works Department provides many essential services, providing safe drinking water, collecting the wastewater, making sure the streets are drivable and passable. And we also saw an increase in our household hazardous waste pickups. And so the services that we provide became even more critical or more abundantly used during the time of this pandemic and staying at home quarantining, because more citizens were at their residences here in McKinney and were using our services even more than they have during normal times. And other essential services are, we have a fleet department. They have to keep our emergency vehicles running for the fire and police and public works. We have our drainage crews that are out there working. And so there's a lot going on in public works, and we can't stop working because our citizens need all of those services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
At the start of COVID-19, we recognized pretty quickly that our parks continue to serve an important part of our community. So even though we had to modify and even shut down some parts of our park system, we were still able to complete many great projects. For instance, we were able to actually change out and replace 3 full playgrounds in the city of McKinney.
We had some employees, they were furloughed, so we pivoted over and had some of those folks working the phone banks, and they cross-referenced with utility billing information, and they went about to call every single senior we could get a hold of that we had the information for to check in on them. And our folks spent as much time with them as they could spend speaking with them and showing that they cared and that the community cares, and we'll get through this.
We knew when we shut down, people were going to lose that tether to their neighbors and to their civic organizations a little bit. And so with our virtual programming, we've allowed them to at least maintain a thread holding together. Curbside service was almost an overnight success. Once people realized they could still get access to the materials safely, the phones were ringing off the hook. The first day we opened, staff told me that we had a mom in tears of joy that she could get out of the house with her children and go somewhere that wasn't the grocery store or the store, and have them be entertained and educated, but also be out in a social environment. We don't just serve the community, we actually build community in the library.
And even with the challenges that this pandemic has brought, our community has still experienced great successes. The Byron Nelson Golf Tournament, we have secured that for the next 5 years. That will bring tremendous visibility to our community, not to mention the economic impact that will have. Encore Wire, one of our largest, if not our largest corporate partner, is expanding in a large way in our community. Our Innovation Fund, which has helped a number of new businesses locate here to McKinney, Blockit, Inveen, EngineSoft, and CoreMed. These are all companies that have come to McKinney during this pandemic that are poised for success. And Tubbs Brewery, a McKinney homegrown business, which has taken the craft beer business by storm, is expanding, and they're expanding in a way that will serve as a catalyst project for our east side.
In spite of everything going on in the world, just know that the Parks Department is still here to serve the community.
We here at the library are still out working for you.
We're here providing the services that you need.
The Housing and Community Development Department is here to help. If you need us, give us a call.
We're here for you, making sure projects keep moving.
You know, times like this in our history, when you're going through it, it's hard to see what it looks like at the other end. But once you've been through it, you look back, there's always a lesson that we learn, and there's always strength that we gain. And I would say to all of the residents in McKinney and all of our businesses in McKinney, we are McKinney Strong. It's not just the name of a program, it is who we are, and we have proven that, and we have greatness in our future.